Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back for some more EVE Online, and I'm exploring. Haha, while all of you guys can't play the game because of the DDoS, I get extra signatures to scan for. So I just found a 3 out of 10, and I'm going to again demonstrate my all-in-one Ishtar for exploration. Someone actually asked a fit when I showed them that you can get some really good loot from Highsec, and someone else asked if this fit is a joke, and no, it's not a great fit. It's a bit of an all-around fit, but that's specialized for stuff to do in Highsec. This ship can basically run everything and well, almost anything that you can encounter in Highsec. We just have those sleeper caches that are the exception. But here we go, 3 out of 10, lots of small stuff. Well, it is of course an Ishtar, so we are using drones. Here come the sentry drones. Let's see if we can clear this out in one go. And there's the Black Ops, my final target. Let's press 3, get started on that one, and then we're going to assign targets to my drones. Try to get rid of that first wave. That is closer than the commander, and then if we're fast enough we can also still try to take him down with the sentry drones. So there we go, we can snipe that one down with the lasers. They help really, 19 kilometers, 20 kilometers, really good range for them. There we go, final one that needs to go down, and then we press F to attack the squad leader. He's within 20. I think he'll be a little bit too fast, but let's see. We still got a couple hits in. Half his shields are gone. Let's see if we can... Ooh, his shields are gone. Let's go. Just one more hit, and he is nicely burned down. So we're just gonna continue here. Quick sentry drone on one target, like that, like that, like that, and we get a couple more in the 20s. That should be possible. 19 is a little bit too close. That's why I have these lasers. You can see that they will start to hit here. Next one, and we'll try for that one, and I think this one can... nope, that's a mistake. Need to go there, and that one is still at 18, but here we go. I think that this is a pretty good result. Almost all targets cleaned up except for one, which I need to then laser down using just a sentry drone. So I can return these guys to drone bay. We can approach that. I now have a Microwarpdrive, so this is going to cut down on my travel time as well. I think one burst is going to be enough. Let's hope that we can hit. God damn it, now they're being really pesky. I want to demonstrate how good the ship is, and then... this happens, so let's just send them out my small drones so that we can recall them quickly. Let's align with the gates. And man, he was surviving for a very long time with that little bit of armor left. Next room, of course, we snipe the loot pinata and then tractor that down with my mobile tractor unit. So let's do stack all. Let's go. And let's look for that Black Ops commander. He's right there, so we are targeting him. Mobile tractor unit is out, and again we use our sentry drones. Practically done with the targeting, so now we press F, press 3, and here we go. We're gonna take this guy down. I still have 4 signatures to scan here, by the way. Maybe I should get started on that as well. There we go. All is... and he's just blapped third volley. And this is the beauty of this ship. Now I can focus on something else. So let's see. I thought this signature was scanned decently well. Well, these guys will try to attack me. I could rep a little bit. We are cap stable, so that's not a problem. And then we're gonna allow my drones to just try to clean everything up. They're still at 30 kilometers, so we should still be fine. We should not allow anything to get too close here. And slowly we can see the red on the overview start to diminish without us having to do anything. I think that's cool. There we go. The closest one just got blapped automatically by my guards. Can they grab? This closest one is starting to get like a little bit closer than what I want to. That's the first wormhole, so we're gonna start going with my lasers on that one. Now let's see what's around this planet. There we go. You're at 25. Just press A3. There we go. They're sniping him down. Excellent. And let's see what this signature is. Would be good if we had more combat sites. Then it does show, and I do feel bad for you guys that can't play the game, especially because it is a game where you pay a subscription, so I understand that this is very frustrating, but well, for an explorer like myself that does manage to get into the game, you can, I think, tell that this could have advantages as well, of course, because I just grabbed that first site and potentially we've got some good loot here. That one is nothing special. I'm gonna clear these sentry guns as well, since we can anyways. Let's go for the first one. That's just a relic site, so we don't need to go after that. And let's see if my drones can actually take this one down. There we go. Ah, it's not this one. I'm actually looking at another one. Just the illumination is pretty cool. Oh, I'm actually looking at like a bunker or something like that. That's not very useful. We still have this signature to look at. Let's see what we got there. And there we go. Very, very easily and passively. I didn't even actually have to armor rep. We finished this site. I can take a look at the loot here as well. Only 1.8 million. Not great, but we do have a faction piece, so we'll take that. That's yet another wormhole, so that is not so good. Let's go down here. And then the big advantage, of course, is that yeah, it can't handle a conduit. That's true. I think you do want like a battleship or a very specialized battlecruiser or cruiser for that one, especially if you want to have a good, a pretty fast clear time of your emerging conduit. So it can't handle that. And then, as I've said, there's data sites, the sleeper caches, where you really want like a tech tree cruiser or something like that. But anything and everything else, the relic sites, well, no problem. I could just use my my analyzer here and grab those as well. All anomalies can be cleared and even salvaged very swiftly if we want to. And this is actually a data site, so we're going to demonstrate that. I get to choose the very best of what's available, or I can try to clear everything using this all-in-one Ishtar, and that's what I enjoy about it. Yep, it's a virus test site, so we can definitely run that. So I really do enjoy that, and you can see how basically passively you can run the content because you do have that that sentry playstyle that you can use. So here we get the data site. Let's go over there. We can close all of this. Could salvage these wrecks as well, although in the 3 out of 10s, of course, second room is very far from your warping point, so doesn't feel like that's gonna be very efficient. And in the meantime, yeah, just look at that. My capacitor is still at like 50% while we are continuously repping armor, and it's quite a bit actually. It's 591 HP every 9 seconds, and I only have like 2000 HP, so that's more than a quarter of my total armor HP per cycle. That does help a lot. Here we go. We have a data site, and here of course that's where the Microwarpdrive comes in handy. So I think at this range I'll want a second burst of speed, so we'll go like that, get that one down, and then once I get within 5 kilometers I can start my hack like this. Usually I expect to like go across in order to find the core 222, so it could be here. Yep, there it is. Fine. First one, and I did just bounce a little bit away from it, but as long as we're approaching, we are absolutely fine. So that's that, and that's a Takamal binary text. Not worth a lot, but it is pretty cool. If you like the lore, this stuff is pretty interesting. And then next one, let's just see what's in here. And a pretty big one to try and find the core in, and that's at 4, so it's gonna be in this direction. Here we go. We are in range. 500,000, not bad. Let's move up to Dira and see what we can find over there. So I understand that this is like definitely not the best fit, right? If you want to really focus on your combat side, something like the Gila is going to clear those more quickly. If you want to focus on data sites, relic sites, things like that, there's of course frigates that are going to allow you to scan down the signatures more quickly and hack stuff more effectively as well. But if you want something that'll be able to do whatever you want and whatever you come across, then this Ishtar will actually do all of that. So maybe we'll quickly talk about the fit a little bit. So here, a little bit of armor tank in the rig slots. In the high slots, of course, we get a probe launcher. Now I've got 3 lasers, basically optimal range 29 kilometers. This is really to try to tackle some of the frigates that sometimes come within like 15 kilometers, a bit too close for the sentries. We try to get those with that. We've got a micro-updrive, of course, capacitor battery. Oh, actually deplete here. That's with the micro-updrive, but capacitor battery helps to just keep running the rep indefinitely without the micro-updrive. This, of course, for data relic sites, omnidirectional tracking link for the drones, and then here a little bit of tank, right? An EM membrane to close that gap, and then we've got a C-type. Quite expensive at the moment. I did find this one myself, if I'm not mistaken, an adaptive for more resistance, and then 2 drone damage amplifiers, giving us a nice 740 DPS to run all these sites in. So really nice in my opinion. I really love this ship myself, and it is my favorite way of exploring at the moment. Not the most efficient, but definitely the all-around way. So we get 1 signature here. And then something that we definitely want to run as well if we can are these refuges, because they can escalate to that 3 out of 10, which we just saw. And yeah, that second room can have some really good loot in it. So let's see, this is just a haunted yard, unfortunately, which that's a disadvantage of the Ishtar, actually. I say it can do anything. Well, the haunted yard, it can't enter it because it is a Tech 2 cruiser. The Gila could run it, and it's actually worth it to run haunted yards because there's a drop there that's actually very valuable as well, potentially. But yeah, this is the other part, right? Anomalies can be valuable, can escalate to good side as well, so they're worth it to run those. I just drop my large drones, activate my tracking link, put down my mobile tractor unit as well, and then we're just gonna clear that. Maybe we're a little bit lucky with some of the loot, so why not leave that on. Add in a little bit of laser fire to get started on these turrets, and then just destroy everything in very short order, and again in a pretty passive way. I don't even have to target any of this stuff. Eventually they'll attack me, and then my ogres will respond in kind and take him out. If you do want to go a bit more quickly, of course, then you do want to target them and tell your drones to destroy stuff. For me, it depends. If like here I see what all the signatures are, I try to go a little bit more quickly. So now we actively go after these targets, and this one still hasn't boxed me, so my drones aren't targeting it. Now that I'm firing at it, the drones will add their damage, and so that is something to keep in mind. Sometimes you have to wait for them to actually target you and try to destroy you. With actively targeting them, you can cut down on the time, and you can also like give your drones individual targets to try and speed things up again. There's a good one shot. Look at that, one shot, and the shields are completely gone. Second shot, nicely done as well. We still have another wave. That's good, and I'm of course hoping for a true Sansha to come in here so that I can yeah, potentially get some good loot here as well. What can drop from a refuge? Well, something like a faction warp disruptor, for instance. That can be worth a lot of ISK, and that can drop from this tiny little anomaly that's actually very easy to run. Now the chances are not high, but it does exist. And then we can see any of loot. No, just 1 metal scrap. All right. Again, here I have the choice, right? Do I want to tractor everything, use my salvage drones? I can. Do I want to continue looking for better sites? I can do that as well, which is what we're doing here. I'm moving on to Neil, and we are going to see if we can find something else of interest and also still get that feeling, because, well, the DDoS is going on, but it is mostly, of course, at the moment, apparently affecting people in the United States. I am in EU time zone, and honestly, despite the 1 extra click that I basically have to do when the client launches, I don't really notice any real problems with my connection to EVE Online. So I do understand that I'm very lucky with that, and that it's super frustrating for people that that are having all of these problems. But yeah, let's hope for some extra signatures and then some extra profit for us, of course. Let's see what this signature is. That looks kind of small, to be honest, for being something good. But I'm actually going to gamble that it's close to the center, so that it is this part. And then if you don't think there's anything good, you can always warp to the next gate to try and save a little bit of time as well. So active exploration, I think, is all about min-maxing, and that is not what this ship is actually for. This ship is for relaxing and doing a little bit of everything, not necessarily optimally. And then some people said that I'm a pretty terrible prober. It's true, but a big part of it is actually I have a new mouse, and it's so much lighter than my previous one that it's actually hard for me to get the muscle memory going for very precise movements at the moment. So let's see what it is, because it's not that easy to scan it down apparently. There's a couple guys in local. Maybe someone is running the emerging conduit, of course. Get a transport coming in here. Let's see what it is, because it could still be good. That's the Viator going through. It's a data site. All right, let's see. It could be worth it to grab that. And this, of course, is something, unless you do decide to also give a mid slot to an analyzer, this is not something that you're gonna do in like the Gila, for instance. It's definitely not something that you want to do in the Jackdaw, which is a great ship for combat exploration as well. And here, you know, it's really not a problem. The reason you don't want to do that in something like the Gila and the Jackdaw is because, of course, you are gonna take away from your shield tank, which is basically what allows you to just go through everything in full confidence, rush that main target rather than having to work with a mobile tractor unit. At least that's how I tend to run those. And yeah, just giving up a slot that improves that ability feels like a bit of a waste. Here in the Ishtar, you get that mid slot. You could put in what, a target painter, another omnidirectional tracking link. Any of those aren't really gonna make that big of a difference, as you can clearly tell from me running these sites. And it gives you the ability to just do this, get a 4 node data site. That's the first 500,000 that we've got. 8 kilometers. I should probably not do the boost, but it's a little bit too late. And then also that one is behind the whole structure, so we gotta go for the furthest one after this one first. So trying to figure the right orders in which to go after these is important as well. You don't want to bounce inside anything. So let's see if 2 could be here. Yep, there it is. That's good. That one is empty, unfortunately. And so we don't want that one. We do want to go for that one first. 13 kilometers. That's one boost. So off we go. And come on, get us some good loot. Maybe a BPC for this analyzer. That can be worth quite a little bit. Let's see what we got here. That's again a 2. There it is. That's really smooth. 1 carbon. That's great. Is the final one okay? Well, what is good here, of course, now my path is clear, so we don't have to go through all of that stuff, although it looks really cool. Look at that, like a sort of an industry inside this asteroid. Very cool. And then over here, we'll take that to be safe. And that's a 5, so maybe here? Nope. Then maybe that's also a 5, so it's gonna be... Ooh, damn! I actually failed the hack. That doesn't happen very often. Let's go for our second chance. And is this like a tougher one or something? Or is it still just a green? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's just a green one. Okay, that can happen. And there we go. 2 million in decryptors available. That's pretty damn good. We still have lower debil. I want to keep going for at least a couple more systems. Just to talk a bit more about my experience when it comes to exploring in this very specific ship. Now here, that happens from time to time as well. So we are just gonna boost away in our micro drive, and then we're gonna give our warp order, and we should be fine. But I absolutely love this playstyle. It is my favorite way of enjoying EVE Online, and at the moment, of course, there's a lot of competition. A lot of people are playing the game when they can get into the game, and that means that I'm making less ISK, but because I enjoy the process, for me, that's absolutely not a problem. And when you do get a good drop, it can basically make your whole week, fund all your other activities for a whole week, and that's something that I really enjoy from exploration as well. I mean, stuff like the armor wrappers, stuff like some of the resistance pieces, they are so high in value at the moment that getting a lucky drop does feel really good, and makes up for all of the time that you're spending here trying to find it. Now 13 in lower Debel, I mean, that's a lot actually. So it is pretty busy right now, despite the fact that yeah, we have all of these connection problems. So it looks to me like people are slowly finding their way back into a more stable situation. Let's hope that everyone gets to that point, of course, and then let's see if we still have anything of value here. So nothing, not a signature and not an anomaly. That actually doesn't happen very often. And then here we get 3 signatures and 1 other person in local. Quick look at it right now, not too big. And yeah, that's, again, I still have to get used to this new mouse a little bit. Can I see who or what is in local? Some Sasha stuff getting destroyed. It's very likely that we're talking a mining ship, because that looks like it could be belt rats. So I think my 3 out of 10 respawn could be here. That'll be fine. Oh yeah, and then people of course keep telling me double click on a signature to get it in the middle of the screen. That'll make it a lot easier to get very close to the center. And that's a wormhole. I'd say over here is most likely. Close to the center, maybe the other one as well. Let's take a look. And that's a data site and a wormhole. All right, I'll take that data site. That's absolutely fine. And that is something, I mean, sure, it's not great ISK, but compare it to the amount of time that you need to spend sometimes in some of these combat sites. And on top of that, it's far more stable. This is really an advantage that I feel this all-in-one Ishtar has over something like a Gila, something like a pure combat-focused exploration ship. You've got this extra option, you've got this extra stream of income that you have for running. Well, for me, it's the data sites, the relic sites. I really don't think they are worth it at the moment, but that's just very welcome in my book. So this one is pretty easy. We land right in the middle of them. Take the closest one. Quick approach. Do need to target them, of course, and let's get started. Hack the first chart. Let's go. 2. So it could be here. Again, gonna play it safe a little bit. There it is. Fine. Grab that. I didn't see how much it was, but it was something. At least 500,000. And this one is worth 1.3 million for a parity decryptor. And then on top of that, if I decide to go do more Tech 2 stuff, I'm actually making these decryptors myself, which could help me with creating Tech 2 blueprint copies. So for me, this is a very nice side activity to do, while most of my income, of course, does come from the combat signatures. But there we go. And another one. very, very happy with this. Let's move on to Lydia. We've been going for less than half an hour. All right, let's finish the round. We can make our way back up until Dital, I think, and see what's available. But this is my regular exploration routine. I really enjoy it, and yeah, as I've said, I want to try to explain a little bit why I'm using this weird Ishtar that's definitely not best at anything. It's because I can do almost anything that I encounter, which I think is very cool. And on top of that, of course, it looks really cool too, especially, let's maybe do that, when you use the police skin. Like that. So up we go. What do we have here? Nothing but an emerging conduit. That's gonna save me a little bit of time. And this time at 10 in local as well. Damn, really busy in Lydia here as well. And now here's the police skin. It does look great. That alone is another reason to use the Ishtar, I think. You don't have a Gila police skin. Nothing that looks as good as this. So yeah, it's still my favorite, guys, and I would always try to adapt that to the exploration that I'm doing, at least in Isaac. As I said, this is not gonna run a 5 out of 10. It's not gonna run a conduit or anything like that, but it will very smoothly run almost anything else. So Udella, we've got 1 signature and not much else. 4 in local. I'll take a look at what it is. It is probably going to be a wormhole. There's a Concord ship coming by, and what I wanted to see is this. So we get an obelisk coming in, we get a Punisher as well. Kind of a weird choice, but yeah, this is actually already a pretty high percentage for how far away we were, so I don't expect anything good. I'm actually gonna warp to Isesama on this one, while Concord really does seem to be interested in my ship. Yeah, as expected, it's just a wormhole, and then we get Isesama left. Let's see what's happening there. But yeah, those decryptors could be handy for my invention. And then, yeah, the Sansha, they really don't like me anymore at this point. So we get a burst. That's not exploration competition, I don't think. Oh, and I should, of course, press jump. So here we go. Isesama is 1 signature as well. All right. Let's first align. Take a quick look at... Yeah, that's really bad. Super small signature, that's not gonna be anything good, so I'm gonna warp off to Dital here. The burst is with me. Okay, definitely closer to this, I think. And it's another wormhole, so we get to jump through and we are back home in just a moment. There you go, guys. I think that's gonna be it, unless something spawned in. Oops, something did spawn in. All right, well, I gotta check that, right? Because all we've done is couple data sites and potentially a 3 out of 10. And if it's that one that respawned here, then I have to try and be first, of course. 29 in local for Dital. Yeah, getting there with the busy system. Also, look at all of the structures that actually have public docking rights, if I'm not mistaken, for being visible here. It is pretty cool. And this time I am gonna double click, because where the hell was that going? Super cool as well. I think that this system has been developed this much by the players. Anything is available here, which is great. And then a 3 out of 10 here would be nice too. Let's see what it is. Come on, be a good command signature. Would be great to get... unfortunately, it's just a desolate site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these Sanshadins, because they can potentially get you a good escalation and good loot as well. After that, I'll probably do a little bit more exploration or run a couple of conduits. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I know quite a few of you guys probably saw something like this quite often before, but a couple of newer viewers apparently wanted to know more about the Ishtar, so there it is. And why the hell do people run half these sites and don't go after the final one? I don't get it, but there we go. As I was saying, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.